Disney used to be known as a family-friendly brand, but over the last several years, all of that has changed. Families are fleeing Disney because with everything they've seen, with everything that's come out, from all their not-so-secret agendas to what they're actually putting on the screen, to what they're telling people in the boardrooms, it is very clear that Disney has gone so far down the woke rabbit hole that they are no longer worried about actually entertaining the audience and giving families what they want. Instead, it's all about pushing an identity politics-laden agenda. And finally, that's starting to actually hurt them in their wallets. Not only did Disney have to fire 7,000 people after the last quarterly earnings report, but when you look at Disney Plus, they're also bleeding subscribers across the entire globe. Woke Disney Plus loses 2.4 million subscribers. That's really the biggest headline that came out of that quarterly earnings report. But something else, in addition to firing 7,000 people in a desperate attempt to stop spending so much money for things that people do not want, another thing also came out. Last quarter, it was $1.5 billion that Disney lost just on streaming. Well, they haven't even brought those losses down to under $1 billion yet. Disney's woke streaming services still losing more than $1 billion a quarter as Bob Iger tries to rein in spending. Yeah, over the last 3 months, Disney Plus, along with the other streaming services, Disney Plus obviously by far the biggest, lost $1 billion for Disney. They are not profitable. They will not be profitable, according to Disney, until the end of 2024. And that sounds like it might be a pipe dream at this point. Disney's woke streaming services are still hemorrhaging money at an alarming rate, losing more than $1 billion a quarter at a time when CEO Bob Iger is trying to put the brakes on the company's runaway spending habits. For the first fiscal quarter, Disney's direct-to-consumer business, which includes Disney Plus, Hulu, other services, lost $1.05 billion, an increase in 80% from the same period a year ago. So think about that. Last year, at this same time, we were talking about Disney Plus losing $200 million in a quarter. Now that number for the same time period is at $1 billion. This is embarrassingly bad. You can see the entire breakdown right here. Disney Plus, domestic, international, Disney Hotstar, Disney Plus Core, Disney Plus Hotstar, all this stuff, right? Total Disney Plus, $1.618 million compared to what it was just 3 months before that, $164 million. Now, for people that want to say, well, it was just the international, there was an increase in domestic subs. Yes, there was a 200,000 increase in domestic subs, which is basically flatlined. In quarter 3, they gained 12 million worldwide. So think about going from a 12 million subscriber gain to dropping 2.4 million. That is huge. That is massive. And that is a huge problem for Disney. And when you add on top of that they're losing literally billions of dollars every quarter, putting this woke trash streaming out there, it is not a recipe for success. Everyone has to admit at this point that things like this just are not sustainable. And when you do things like the Proud Family, which they just put on there, when you do things like force transgender ideology in children's shows, when you do things like tell parents in the state of Florida that you're going to fight for teachers' rights to sexualize their children, Disney is so far departed from anything that anyone recognized. Like for me, like from anything that I recognized when I was growing up, when people would have no problem popping in the most recent Disney movie and putting it on for everybody because they thought that that was a company that represented family or traditional values in some way, shape, or form. That is the opposite of what Disney represents. Now, when people look at Disney, it represents the opposite. It represents woke ideology. It represents grooming. It represents bastardizing everything that came before it in an effort to indoctrinate your children. And now, across the world, Disney is paying the price for that, still losing over $1 billion on woke Disney Plus as subscribers flee. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.